It's a podcast!
It's podcast!
Waiting for that little green light.
Waiting for that green
boy.
light on bated breath. We're here.
Passed out holding my breath.
I know. We were holding our breath for 9 hours. So this week it's the same people as before. It's Jack.
Hal.
And Ollie.
Hey, we did it at the start this time.
Yeah.
Wait till halfway through and then
we
like,
said
end.
shit.
Yeah,
The
last
end.
time
It was the end.
literally,
It
I
was
went, oh yeah, by the way.
You didn't realise
No, we didn't.
we haven't changed position
Yeah.
in a week.
We haven't. Yeah, no, we just sit here waiting. We hold our breath all week, and
Yeah.
then the green light comes on.
There
We're
is-
like, podcast!
There is so much shit in this bunker.
It's a lot.
There's
There's
so
a lot.
much
It's
shit.
a lot of poo.
Undisclosed bunker.
It's the cool bunker, though, you know.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
cool
yeah.
bunker.
It's got a good ambient light.
I mean,
Smell isn't great.
the smell is not great. Especially
Smell
for
is
you two.
bad. Yeah, I mean, you know.
Massive noses.
Wow.
Hey.
Puffy vagina.
Yeah, so we're coming to you a little bit later than usual, just because we all had stuff to do today. Hal, you're in rehearsal for a ghost walk.
Yeah.
Which is
that's
pretty cool.
pretty
That was
cool.
alright. Didn't do a lot.
No?
Nah.
Who do you play?
Because it's set in I don't want to tell. It's set in this area where we're at uni,
Yeah.
and I'm playing this character. Well, it's not a character; it's a real life person. The
Yeah.
first role I'm playing is this guy who was a fraudster. He was married to multiple women, and he was about to be found out, and like he stole loads of money off certain people, a con man sort of thing.
Cool.
And he tried to fake his own death. He found this man, bludgeoned him to death,
Oh my.
and put him in his car
Oh.
and set the car on fire. But two men saw him do this, and so the next morning in the paper he was sitting with one of his wives,
Yeah.
and they found out that it was him, and he was sent to prison.
Oh,
and,
damn.
okay.
yes, and died.
Died
Yes.
due to prison.
Yeah, died. Bad case of prison.
Yeah.
Bad
Yeah.
case of dropping the soap. Oh.
Yeah, and
Oh,
another
no.
one is I play this plague doctor
Cool.
who helps people. Well, tried to help people, but eventually just caught the plague and died.
Oh, dear.
He is not a smart man.
No, that's not man. He kept sucking pus out of people.
Turns out you did not need to be a smart man to be a doctor back in the day.
No, and then other ones like
Keep the mask.
I play a wounded Cromwellian soldier.
Jesus.
Yeah,
Specific.
like during the English Civil War, which every other country on the planet forgot we had. We just managed to sort our shit out early.
We just no longer have the flag of the rebels flying, but you know.
Yeah,
I can't remember which war it was. It was like a 400-year war because they forgot they were at war. Like
Yeah,
they,
so
they never signed the treaty. So in like 1982, they just kind of went,
Oh,
"Yeah,
yeah.
we're still at war, you know."
fuck that guy.
With who? With them? Oh, I've been there last year. Oh,
Didn't know we were at war.
yeah. Why didn't no one tell me? Well, it's 397 years old. I will get it later.
Yeah, and other stuff I play this like a brewery owner and an architect.
Cool.
Yeah, it's all right.
Cool.
So how many characters? You know, do you want to give some work to other actors?
It was an open call. Open
I
call.
took the job. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
He offered me the job. I said
So
yes to the
took the
job.
job.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Didn't get paid for the job because it's extra work. But
No.
It's
Nice.
also true. You're not being paid, even though like
No.
you're doing a lot of work. right?
Doing essentially doing the same as everyone else.
Except you're not.
But
being
so
paid.
do the paid actors have like named characters that they play?
Every character, like there's a
Does
couple of
everyone have a
characters who are
character?
just like witches and stuff like that.
So you have like the plague doctor.
No, he's got an actual name, but
Okay.
I don't want to give.
Yeah, no,
say
don't
the
say
name
it.
because then you can Google that name and
Oh,
be
right,
like,
fine.
Then
Spoil
all
the
the,
ghost
all the
one.
people watching the podcast who are also going to come to the show will be spoiled for.
yeah,
Yeah.
that one girl in Greenland.
Um,
Shout out.
what was I going to say? I forget. Oh, we were talking about pay, right?
Yeah, and
yeah.
it's just like because it was like the first call went out for like 3 actors,
Yeah.
and then he was like, okay, now I need some extras. You won't be paid, but you can put it on your CV, and it's all right, and it's a good
Yeah.
experience doing like interactive theatre,
Mhm.
all that sort of stuff. And so we're like, cool, and then get there, and it's like, oh, doing the same amount of work as paid guys.
That really
Some of us are doing
sucks,
more
dude.
work, and so
Are you going to speak to him?
we are thinking. I'm thinking of just having a word, not being aggressive, or just like I would like to understand his thought process and
Yeah.
see if me bringing it up makes him go, oh, hang on,
Yeah.
yeah,
Because again, it's kind of rude that you are putting in as much work. Because like the idea of not paid extras is like you might have been a zombie at a door.
yeah, like
You
I'm
would just
stood
go,
in the back going rhubarb.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That you're like just a noise maker. Not that you're a plot character. Like so that kind of you're not the definition of an extra at this
No.
point. You
Yeah,
are a
just an
staple
actor.
character.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's really
Like, it's a
cool.
lot of running around like town, because getting from place to place, doing all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, like running through the centre of town in costume,
Yeah.
like getting to another place, and then
Do you have to change costume a couple times?
yeah, got
Yeah.
a couple of quick changes.
That's nice.
Yeah, which is fun.
They're like
good.
cool costumes, or they're like shit Halloween costumes.
They're like normal costumes, because like it's his theatre company. We're using a lot
Yeah,
of
yeah.
his costumes, and
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
yeah, like it's like a 1930s pinstripe suit, and some other stuff like some 1800s wear,
Nice.
and like some like fucking 1100s,
Hmm.
like sort of stuff for the Cromwellian soldier.
Very cool.
Mhm.
Very cool. Cool.
Got some ruffles in there.
Mm. Bit of
No
ruffage.
ruffles. I'm a
Ruffles.
Cromwellian soldier, a Puritan.
He's
So I mean,
old.
for like the 1800s guy, you're gonna have some.
No, I've got a cravat and a very Dr. Ross waistcoat.
Oh no.
You don't know who Dr. Ross is, but that makes
That's not
That's
good.
very funny.
It's not
That's
It's a
good
nice
waistcoat.
waistcoat. I liked his fashion. I
like
fashion.
velvety kind of dark
Yeah.
maroon.
It's
yeah.
got sort of like peacock feathers on it.
Oh, that's cool.
Mm.
You want to contextualize? So Dr. Ross was an old lecturer at our university that
Yeah.
left within like 6 weeks of us joining the university. So yeah, he was a weird guy. He was a weird
very odd.
guy. Because as part of the course, we did like a little bit of ballet, and I'm going to tell the dance belt story.
Okay,
Here
it is.
I told that today.
Not on the podcast. I
Not
hope.
on the podcast. I like this. Like a couple of second years were here, and we were like, we were describing Dr. Ross because they obviously hadn't met him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's weird. So we were having a talk with Dr. Ross, who was the leader of the course, wasn't
Yeah,
he? He was
yeah, he
like
was.
head of the course.
He was head of the
started-
arts department.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah,
so
yeah.
big, kind of an important name in the university. The only person above him is the dean,
Yeah.
which funds the course.
Yeah.
So he was doing a talk in the hall, and like 60 of us, our entire year. First year, we were maybe 3 days in, maybe 3 days. It's probably before that.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, all the girls, go ahead, leave us alone. Boys, if you would stay, I want to talk to you about dance belts. Now, if you don't know what a dance belt is, I didn't either. It's a sports bra for your bollocks. That's the
Essentially,
best. That's the
yeah.
best way I can
It
describe it.
keeps everything where it needs
Yeah,
to be.
it's what dancers wear to keep their junk from flapping about the place, twisting and hurting yourself, or
Yeah.
like kicking yourself in the nuts. So, you know.
As you do.
So he said, I need to talk to you about dance belts. And so all the girls get up and leave awkwardly, and these like 18-year-old boys are like, oh, okay,
Shaking in the
whatever,
fucking seats.
whatever you say. And he starts handing out fucking pamphlets. Do you remember
These
that?
are like 4-page pamphlets.
A4.
Yeah.
4 pages of A4.
Were they double-sided?
Possibly.
Possibly double-sided.
Front and back. Like, it was on like why to wear a dance belt and then how to wear a dance belt.
In very
Graphic.
graphic detail.
Yeah, he went on to explain himself, even though he handed it out. He went on to explain that it's very important that everything points north.
Yeah.
That was
Maybe that's why I do it.
Why?
Maybe that's why it's more comfortable. I've been wearing a dance belt for 2 years, so it's like...
You've been wearing a
ooh.
dance belt for 2 years?
Not every day.
You didn't take it off?
It's really comfortable.
They're not
Also, it's
comfortable.
it's like a thong at the back. You got to get used to that.
It's
That takes a
uncomfortable.
while to get
More
used to.
power to girls who wear thongs because, again, wearing a dance belt is basically a thong with a bit of fabric at the front.
Yeah.
I don't know how you do that. It's really
very
uncomfortable.
tight.
It's very
tight.
invasive,
Yeah.
you know.
We're not used to having our assholes
Flossed.
Flossed. Oh, yeah, you're
Speak
right.
for yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
If you're that way inclined.
if you're yeah,
Adventurous.
yeah. Not boring.
Yeah, the Indiana Jones of arse play.
Oh, Jesus.
Got a crystal skull up there.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, it's the worst one.
yeah, it's the worst one.
What, you got a Temple of Doom? Oh.
No,
Oh,
no.
it
I've got
is
a
the
holy
temple.
grail in my Temple of Doom.
Oh no. Do you guys like the Indiana Jones films?
Yeah, apart from the last one, that was a hot piece of cancer poo.
Was the last one
Steamy
with
one.
with
Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, Shia LaBeouf.
So with Ray
Even
Winston,
Stevens.
John Hurt was in it, and that just made me
Oh, yeah.
sad.
Yeah.
I didn't hate it, but I think that
It's
all the
not-
fucking I think
it's
all
not
the
good
Indiana
film.
Jones films you have to take at face value. You have to be like, these are fun.
The first,
And
like,
that's
the
it.
first three are
The
fun,
first three are
but that
really
one just
good.
didn't make
I think
sense.
they're really good.
Aliens, like why?
Why not? The Holy Grail.
Yeah, but
In
it
the
just,
last
that,
one,
they made sense.
There's
because
just
they
a
were all
man in the
like-
Holy Grail cave. Like, pick a chalice. Like,
Yeah, because they'd all like the first three were like magical, biblical to do with religions, and it was just aliens.
And then at the end when the fucking massive UFO fucks off into space, like I didn't need that.
I don't remember that.
You
The
don't
end.
need to.
So-
Also,
the
he
last-
gets in a fridge and survives a nuke.
Yeah, that's true.
That
What,
coined
in
a
the-
new phrase. Like, you know, like the original phrase for like when a movie or a show shits its pants is like jumping the shark.
Yeah.
Like in the new one is nuking the fridge.
Nuking
yeah,
the fridge.
yeah.
That's how
Is
good
that
that
actual
was.
thing? That's great.
Yeah,
I'll
like,
use that.
like fucking
nuke the
Fallout New
fridge
Vegas took the piss out of it.
Did it?
If you went to a certain point in the desert, you could find a fridge, open it, and there would be a skeleton in it with a fedora in it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, that was really fucking dumb.
And that was in the most recent one.
That was, yeah, no,
Because
it's
there's like a nuclear test in a
he's in like
model
fucking
town
Nuketown
thing.
from
Yeah.
like Black Ops.
Right,
Yeah.
and he gets in a fridge.
Yeah.
Which wouldn't be on either in Nuketown.
No, but
Like,
it's
it
like
wouldn't be
it
on,
says
it would be
it says
there
it's lead lined. So
lead-lined fridge.
Also, that's... people go in with lead-lined suits now after, like, Hiroshima and stuff, and it still gets radiated. Like, it's good for repelling radiation. It's not impervious.
yeah.
It's a fridge.
It's a fridge.
It's a fucking fridge.
So that was-
chilly.
What makes me laugh more is those nuclear test towns and stuff. They have actual bunkers in them.
Yeah!
That's the whole point.
Yeah!
Couldn't find a bunker. Guess a
How is
fridge
it-
will do.
That's the
Yeah.
same thing.
And like it's not like the blast goes off and the fridge stays where it is. He gets like launched
like
kilometer
miles. Yeah.
and like hits the floor and just like rolls out. It's like,
Why don't
He's
I
like, ooh, that
remember
one
this?"
bruised me.
because
Why
your
don't I
brain
remember
went.
this?
We don't need to remember.
Yeah, that's
this.
also
Yeah.
true.
It
I was
pushed
like,
it out for a fart joke. or
let's
something.
let's
Yeah.
write this out of my life.
Yeah.
Still remembering the fucking face melting scene from Raiders of the Lost Ark.
That's a really iconic.
It's like all
scene.
those ones where it's
Yeah.
like fucking in both like Raiders and Last Crusade, the outcomes would have been identical,
In
whether
what
Indy
sense?
was involved.
he's complete,
yeah.
not completely passive character, but he's not actually.
Oh yeah, like he
integral to
doesn't
the- yeah.
achieve
Yeah, like
anything.
Temple
as
of
a-
Doom,
really,
he
yeah,
actually
yeah.
does stuff.
But
But in
Raiders,
Raiders,
yeah.
they would have found the Ark,
opened it
quicker.
and all died.
Yeah,
all died,
all died,
and
yeah.
Last Crusade, they would have found the Grail eventually.
Yeah,
Would have gone through
drank
enough
the wrong one.
Nazis.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they would have taken the Grail across that seal.
Yeah.
and then the same thing would
Would
have
have
happened.
happened,
And
yeah.
they would, the temple would have crashed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, so Indy, what are you for?
Indy's there for the fun. He's there
Yeah.
with the whip
He's
and
there
the
to
hat.
delay the inevitable.
Yeah.
That's
the,
his
only,
character.
the only adventure that he
description.
actually does something good on is the unnecessary one that he got accidentally put on.
that we didn't want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're making a new one.
Isn't Shia LaBeouf
No,
like
he's not.
taking over? Wasn't
No,
that?
I don't think so.
No.
No.
Because that was the whole thing at the end of the Crystal Skull was that like the hat falls and it falls on and Shia
was a-
LaBeouf
yeah.
picks it up and puts it on and everyone was like, well, Shia LaBeouf
This
is now Indiana
I
Jones.
guess.
Can't
Yeah.
be. He can't be.
No, no.
Not now. They've left it too
So,
late.
so
He's like forced.
what I've heard so
and
far,
weird.
yeah, what I've heard so far is like
Yeah.
he's finishing. What I think basically Harrison Ford is finishing all his franchises.
Do you know what?
He's
He
finished Star Wars.
He finished.
But then
Indiana
they're
Jones
like-
is finished.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to go back and do another one. It's
But now,
finished.
but now they're making him finish it.
Ah.
So he's like finished Star Wars. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm assuming he's finished Blade Runner.
I
He's gonna
assume so.
finish Indiana Jones now.
Do you think that at the end of the new Indiana Jones, the one that like he's finishing, Adam Driver just walks in and like slits his throat at the end, and then that's it. That's just it. Like,
Thank you, Father.
yeah,
Out
he just,
of
he just
nowhere.
does it. Yeah, like completely unaddressed. It's like
Spoiler alert.
Oh, it's been 2 years. fuck
Force Awakens is an old film by
It's a
now.
shit film.
Too-
It is.
Ah,
off.
it's not
It's not a
shit.
shit.
It
film.
is.
It's easy to
just
shit
really
on.
similar to the fourth one.
It's easy to shit
First one,
on.
sorry. Yeah.
I mean, it's a shit film. It's easy to shit on.
No, it's not. That's like saying Step Brothers is a shit film, but everyone fucking loves Step Brothers.
No, I would say it's a funny film.
It's a
a
shit
comedy.
film.
It's not good.
It's
Like
funny.
scary. We watched Scary Movie last night. It's a
Shit
shit
film.
film, but
We
it's
watched Scary
funny.
Movie 1 and 2.
Oh my god. I went to bed.
You watched Scary Movie 1. Don't
I've-
try and weasel out of this.
I have realized how tragic my life is because we made cocktails yesterday.
Yeah.
So like me and Ollie went to the store. We got like what did we get? We got vodka and rum.
Rum.
We had rum and amaretto here
Yeah.
already. We had Coke here, so we bought some juices, and we were like, "Oh, this will be fun. This will be nice. We'll like make some cocktails. It'll be cool." I had half a cocktail. It got to 10 p.m. and I was like, "I think I'm gonna go to bed, guys."
I'm gonna take an early one.
Yeah, I was tired already
take a nap.
on a fucking Saturday night.
We are 3 weeks into university.
I know,
and it
and
is
I'm
breaking us.
fucking exhausted.
Fucking third year.
Third year is intense.
Yeah.
I like I've said it a million times. I can't wait for this set of lectures to be over.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
once we get to week 7, we're into shows.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to have
To
the
actually
7
be-
weeks done.
It's kind of like doing one thing.
Yeah.
Like at the end of last year when we did a Shakespeare show,
It was so nice.
it was just focusing on one thing.
and
it
it's
was
so
like,
nice. It's
I don't
being,
have to worry about doing a presentation and a scene and a monologue.
and being a walrus. being
Fucking-
another
fucking
fucking
animal studies
animal.
is fantastic.
This is
I
questionable.
love animal studies.
It's fun. It's fun to do.
Yeah, oh boy, it's interesting.
It
Definitely
is interesting, but like so
So,
with like
again-
creative and the art lessons and like
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah,
it's
yeah.
just what's
So-
your poison.
So this is the
Like,
thing,
yeah.
is that I don't doubt that animal studies is useful and that it is good. I was saying this to one of you guys yesterday. It's just not me at all. So
Yeah.
so for anyone listening who doesn't know what animal studies is, it's literally an actor becoming a character through using an animal. So if you you play a character and you're like, well, if that character was an animal, he
Yeah.
would be an ostrich or
Yeah.
something, because he's big and he's dumb and he's loud and he's bumbling.
Yeah.
You then, as an actor, pretend to be an ostrich for an hour.
But like,
and then you-
it's not just like
That's
pissing.
it.
You have to like look at how they move, how they
Yeah.
breathe,
Do a lot of
how they
research
think,
and-
that kind of thing.
Yeah,
Get into the headspace, and then
yeah.
you like anthropomorphize that ostrich
into
into a human and figure out how a
Yeah.
human ostrich would move.
Yeah,
and
so-
how they would
So,
brush their teeth.
so this
and do all
is
that
the
sort of
problem I
stuff.
had the other day because I figured out that my character would most likely be a snake.
yeah.
Humans aren't snakes.
No, no, good observation.
So I was
He's
lying
gonna
on
go far,
lying
this
on the
one.
floor, lying on the floor
Just
as a
wiggling.
snake.
You
Not
did
the
hit
fucking
pop filter.
Pop filter, you dick. So I was on the floor as a snake. Like
Did you fuck
we
it?
started. Is it okay?
fine.
We're
Okay,
fine. We're
we're
fine.
My
we're good.
pop filter. Do it one.
So we start with like breathing
Thirsty.
and resting as a snake, which is fine, until he says, "Right now, go and find some food."
Mm-hmm.
I was wriggling on the floor for a good 30 seconds before I realised I can't move as a snake.
This is not how my
This
spine works.
This is not how humans work. I
No.
looked over to another girl in our class, and she had this funny smile on her face, and she was like, "You fucking mug."
You look like a dick.
Yeah. So I was just like, "Yeah, no, this isn't working
I
for me,
can't
is
do
it?"
this one. Yeah, so this is the thing, is that a lot of people find it so useful, and I get that it's useful, and I
For
imagine
some people.
for anyone
Yeah.
listening to this who's not an actor, this sounds like the most bullshit of all
Well,
bullshit.
it's just everything sounds like, but whenever
Yeah.
like if you're not that thing, listening about how those people get that thing done
Yeah,
always sounds like bullshit.
that's true. That's true.
I
it's
lived
just-
as a drug dealer for 4 years to prepare for this role. Like,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, you sound like a
It's
Just
dick.
like you listen to a brickie describing how to make a wall, and they like say all this convoluted shit. Like, why don't you just do this? Like, well, because it's not how it works, but it sounds like it works to me.
Yeah.
like, it's,
Yeah. But you know, it's just the arts in it. It's just got a weird way in.
It's always,
and
it's always
one of
a
them.
little bit wanky.
Yeah, and this is one of the particularly wanky things that we do. And again,
Yeah.
it's useful for a lot of people. For me, I ain't buying it right now. It's not doing anything
You'll
for
get
me.
there. I think you'll get there.
I don't know that I will.
It's just because our
I think
teacher
it's-
doesn't have the hots for you like he does.
I don't think he does.
Our teacher's fantastic. Too.
He's
he's
lovely.
He's got a
awesome.
great beard.
He does have a great beard. It's perfectly groomed as well.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
Better than
solidly.
yours.
Well, I mean, you don't have one now.
Currently,
Yeah,
it's
why did you
non-existent.
shave that off?
Why
It
did
was
you?
getting like long and itchy, and I didn't have because I was using our friend's clipper razor thing to shorten it.
Okay. I was
Um,
about to freak the fuck out. Like, I was sharing razors. I was like, with who? And why?
So I borrowed my friend's toothbrush the other day.
Really hard to shave yourself with one of those bastards.
I managed.
It's a lot of friction.
Oh.
Ooh. So yeah, it was getting really itchy.
Oh.
To be fair, I got a bit of a rash now. Which
A
is
bit.
Great.
I mean, you look
Got
you've been beaten up
spotty
by a
red.
razor.
You don't look that
Hey,
bad.
I moisturise as well. I need
Do
to
you?
get all
Yeah.
this sorted?
I shaved today as well. Like, not that you notice it half as
Shave-
much as
shave
you do with
what,
you.
Jack?
Hey, I have like shaggy beard
I
going
have
on.
hair.
I have hair. No, I did like all of it. I trimmed my nails, I trimmed my toenails, did my pubes, I did my facial hair. I like treated
good.
myself. I like
Got
treat
split
yourself.
end sword. I see.
got my split end sorted. You know?
I
No,
need-
they're
I
still
need to
very
get- I
much
need to
there.
get a fucking haircut.
You getting a
You gonna
haircut?
shave sides again?
Yeah, I was
Like
gonna
Viking?
shave sides, keep the stuff on top.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool, nice.
Do the braid. Do the braid.
My hair's not long enough at the moment.
Not yet.
I could get like an onion top knot going on.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
yeah.
wouldn't work though.
Like a
'cause
like a
all the
Thoris of Mia kind of
Nah,
Yeah.
even
Top
he's
knot.
got something.
Like,
going
like,
on.
I was at a shopping centre once, and this is when my top knot was like down to my like the back of my
Oh, yeah,
neck,
yeah,
so
yeah,
it
yeah.
looked fucking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And there was this bloke walked into like Foot Locker or like Shoe or something, and like it was literally like the top of an onion. Like he gave
Oh.
me this look when he saw my top knot, like top knot bros, and I was like,
No,
Fuck
we are
you.
not on the same level. Don't you put,
I
don't you
worked
put
for
us in with the
this.
same
yeah,
fucking
like,
league.
fuck you,
dick.
you've just gone elastic band. Like, this took fucking effort.
Yeah.
It's like you got a little cousin who's got a bobble on her wrist and she like ties the front of your hair in a shit little
Oh
bobble.
god.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh, you're a girl? No.
No,
Fuck off.
it's not the same.
I put effort into this.
I don't
okay?
ovulate. No, I say recently, kind of recently, but I had to buy bobbles for the first time.
Yeah,
So
you
like,
got long hair
obviously, like my hair is down to my shoulders. Buying weird experience. Only because you know, like when you buy condoms and you have to interact with a human who is
now.
like
Humans are weird.
right. So humans are weird, and cashiers are wonderful people because it doesn't matter what you put in front of them, they won't. You know, they don't
judge
they don't call you on
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
You know, like if
I
you've
mean,
ever
I
been.
did get ID'd for condoms once.
Did
Did
you?
you?
Seriously.
Really?
Oh.
But it was by a person who then needed an adult to come and be like, yeah.
Oh.
So wait, were
that's-
they under 18?
Yeah.
Jesus. I mean,
That's.
also
They
if
were like under 16.
they can't have been. You can't work if you're under 16 unless it was.
But
Like
yeah,
a
if the
corner
if the
shop.
cashier's under 18, then they need
Then they need
an
someone.
adult.
It must
supervisor to
have
come
been
see
something
them.
like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, so they're like, yeah, can I see some ID? Yeah, Karen, come here, please. Like,
Can you verify this ID? That is ridiculous. Because what the so the issue, my gripe with that is, if you walk out of there without condoms, you're still fucking.
yeah.
Except that
Yeah.
that 16-year-old has
That's-
caused teenage pregnancy.
So
I'm
like
just
when you
using a
have your
Snickers
child
bar
and
and
when it
elastic
turns
band.
18, you can go and meet the cashier that was the cause of
And
your
be
of your
like,
birth.
you caused this piece of shit.
Yeah.
Look at this
This
ugly
is your fault.
motherfucker.
This
You
is
tell him
you.
sorry for existing. okay?
Yeah. No, I'm gonna
She didn't want to do anal. Now look what happened.
So buying bubbles is weird.
So I had that like when I was in Boots and bought nail like varnish.
Yeah, yeah.
And like the lady who had the till just like looked at me. I was like, "Fucking and what?" At me.
No, but this is the thing. Is like I've never really had a bad running with a cashier. Like,
No.
yeah, buying bubbles is quite a feminine thing, which is ridiculous. It's such a stupid thing that I had to go to like a beauty aisle and it
Yeah,
has
yeah.
on the fucking cardboard that I bought a bubble on. It has a woman on it. Like,
Yeah.
you know, yeah. So I'm like buying them, and there's that like moment where they take it and they see it. Like they don't
clock what
yeah,
you've
they
done.
they know what you've got, and again there's that moment of like, is that for you? It might be for you. And I'm like, I don't think I had my hair up, but I was like, yeah, thank. I was fucking embarrassed for some reason, as if like I
Yeah.
bought like
Yeah, you're the
Anal
bad guy.
Fister 4.0 like at Boots, as if like I'd walked in, slammed it on the counter, and gone, for me later, I'll think of you. Like,
got a cucumber and a pack of Johnnies. That's
Oh,
a fucking great sound.
let's go. Yeah, it was just.
Fruit salad.
It's just embarrassing. I think that's just a British thing, though, that we're all just
Oh, yeah,
embarrassed by anything.
Back to the ID thing.
Oh, go.
On my 16th birthday,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I can get a lottery ticket now. Oh, this is great.
Wanker.
Sad.
Wait,
piece
I
of
went.
shit.
I was like, lucky dip for the Euro Millions, please.
Oh god,
Cheers, mate. Cheers, mate. Got any ID?
No.
I'm 16. Why would I have ID?
Oh.
I'm sick. I'm not gonna carry my fucking passport to the fucking
Well,
supermarket.
you should have.
Why didn't? I was just like, it's my 16th birthday. He was like, don't have any ID, mate.
Oh
Sorry.
my god, you
I,
fool.
I walked out of that shop. I was like, this is a shit day, isn't it?
Worst birthday ever. Did you go back? Did you like grab ID?
No, I could look him in the eye again.
Hey,
Fuck that.
You
I've never
should've-
been to that Tesco again.
you should have slammed it down. You should have gone, picked it up, put it down, and gone.
I was
One
I was,
raffle for the Euro Millions,
I was,
please.
really, I was really tempted to get my
One raffle. It's 24.59. Oh, I want some jam.
and 40 million pounds.
Thought that
I
was
don't give a fuck. I got jam.
the best
I can
raffle.
use this
I was
jar
tempted-
afterwards.
I was tempted to get my phone out and go, because people post on your Facebook wall on your birthday. I was gonna be like, look, it's my birthday.
You should have
My
done
mum-
that.
My mum says I'm 16. Look at it.
Oh my god, you should have done that. That would have been so funny. That would have been. I wonder if he'd have been like, yeah, go on then, because like no
Maybe,
one's
like,
policing
pity.
that.
Yeah, no, like a
No one's
like a
policing that.
pity
Like it's
ticket,
your
that's fine.
discretion, really. Is like
Yeah.
so again, like working in a bar. if someone did that and they were like, it's my 18th birthday, I'm like, have you got any idea? They're like, no, but look at
Yeah.
50 people telling me happy birthday,
Yeah.
and my mum has said it's my 18th. I'd be like, fair play.
Yeah.
Fair
Alright,
play.
That's
Yeah.
a lot
I'll
of
allow
work
that.
for a pint
I
either
really-
way.
Yeah.
like-
But, like-
I felt kind of. It was a weird kind of power the first time you deny someone getting a drink because they don't have ID.
I feel awful when I do it. I feel really
I
bad.
kind of felt because it happened to me loads because like I was the last person in my year to turn 18.
Oh,
Or, like in my
no.
friend group to turn 18.
Yeah.
So they were all like going to clubs
Mhm.
and stuff like that, and I'd get in sometimes because
Yeah.
the guy would be like, yeah, go on then.
Yeah.
Or we did the thing where like you get the stamp.
Oh yeah.
So someone comes out and they, like press it to your hand to like get
Oh, that's
the.
really sad. I've never heard of that
Oh,
before.
Yeah, no,
It
yeah,
is,
I
really.
did
That's
it
like-
loads.
that's
It
a
worked a
tactic.
couple of times.
Yeah.
Like you lick your hand sometimes and do it.
that
stuff
that
like
one time when my friend licked their hand
And it came
the
off.
second after they got it, so they just went, it's not there anymore.
Oh,
So yeah,
no.
it was a friend's birthday, and we went out, and then they went to the club.
Mhm.
I didn't manage to get in because he didn't believe I was 18 and all that.
Yeah.
So like I was just standing outside the club for a bit with my mate, just like,
What?
well, this is shit. I'm not
Did you
doing
go
anything."
home? Or did
No,
you like
we-
play
we-
cards outside the club?
Just fucking playing dominoes with some
Yeah,
other
what did you
guys.
do?
No, we stayed outside for a bit, and then we went back to my friend's house. And it was just
Yeah.
like,
See,
That's
I never heard that because I was never like, because I wasn't stupid enough with my face to be like, I'll try.
No.
well,
Like-
that's the thing though, because I got facial hair quite young,
Ah, yeah.
so it usually worked.
Yeah.
Because like I was 13 and I got a fucking mustache. It was terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
that
know.
doesn't sit right with me.
It was bad. It was.
I believe you.
I
No,
want to
yeah.
see some pics of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make that the fucking photo of this.
Thumbnail of the photo. Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
Halloween.
Actually, I didn't shave till I was 15.
No.
So I spent 2 years with a shit tash.
Oh no.
It wasn't great.
Did anyone tell you? Was like your mum on your back for like
all the
shave?
time?
You look
like
I had people that I knew in the car drive past me like, fucking shave, you prick. I was like,
You look like an Indian pedo.
Pretty accurate, to be fair.
Oh no.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
wasn't
not
great.
good.
No, but like I had it. Like I'd just be like, yeah, I'm not going out. It's like, well, I just try. It's like, I'm not gonna get in. Why not? Look at me. I look like a
fucking
fetus with a
13-year-old.
fringe.
Yeah,
Like-
yeah.
I
I
like-
have a bad case of baby face.
Yeah, like,
so
I'd always
yeah,
just like,
same.
I'd always just like, yeah, I'll just get an old lad to buy me some drink and have a house party. Because house parties are infinitely better.
Yeah.
Going out in town
Especially
sucks.
in
When you're
high school
fucking,
was
yeah,
really
16,
fucking
17,
cool.
18, you need to do some underage drinking. Of course,
Yeah.
staying in your house is better.
Or you do the whole thing where it's like, I'm sleeping around here, I'm sleeping around here, I'm sleeping around here, and then you're all just passed out in a field at 4 o'clock.
Yeah, I
That's-
never did that. I
Do you
never
have
did
fields?
that.
That's the
No, I
goal.
never.
Fields are always good.
Well,
I got
mates-
drunk in a field, but like
Yeah.
it was only like it was me, a couple friends, and it was light, and we just left and were drunk when we got home and slept in beds.
No, we did it before. One of my mates brought a sleeping bag and like slept on the grass, but the zip got stuck, and he'd like proper like burritoed himself inside his
Oh,
sleeping bag.
that's
So it was just his
hilarious.
face, his arms like pinned down by his side.
Oh, that's
Like,
hilarious.
guys, I can't get out. I'm so sorry, Matt.
I can pour some more alcohol in your face if you like,
Yeah.
but I'm not helping you out, you worm.
And like other stuff, like went down the side of this thing and spent like 6 hours just smoking weed through a toilet tube.
Oh,
Like a toilet roll tube. Like you put a hole this top, put the joint in the top, hold your hand over it, and you can like you keep going like, and then you do a massive huff in, and you smoke like a joint in one breath, and like it's fucking awful.
my god.
Yeah, and like, I was like, oh,
Some
I'll tell my
dangerous-
drug story.
Go ahead.
Yes,
go ahead.
go.
Tell some
Yeah,
drug stories.
I've done a few drugs in my life. nothing.
Sit down, children.
Yeah.
I've done a few drugs.
Nothing heavy. Like
Uh-huh.
just mainly like weed and a little bit of like sort of cocaine.
Sort of cocaine.
Wait, hang on. What the fuck is sort of cocaine?
It's called like Propex, and like you get like it's like a really quick buzz, but
Okay.
really fleeting.
Okay.
Like
You're like, ooh.
it's like Calaxian
Oh, that was
pistols,
good.
like that sort of shit. Yeah, and lots of stuff like legal highs and stuff. I did one called
shit, don't do
Annihilation, which was like weed mixed with amphetamines. And so
Don't
like we
do
smoked it,
legal
and like you feel
highs.
chill, and then and like we were sprinting around my local town, just like yeah, woo! And then like half an hour later, we all
Don't.
crash in a heap, like oh god.
Don't do legal highs. This has been a
Why
PSA.
they're legal?
Don't do legal highs. Right, there is a fucking legal, although it's been made illegal very recently, like
Yeah.
in the last month or so, called Spice.
Oh yeah.
Have you
yeah,
heard
yeah,
of it? But it is bad.
Yeah.
Like it's really bad in prisons because you can sneak it in really easy. And my stepmom is a prison officer.
Drones.
that's how they do it. But there are just stories of like you'll go into a cell and the guy is like literally pulling his own face off.
Yeah,
Like with
tearing
skin. Yeah, like
That's a
pulling
scene you
his
don't
skin
see
off.
in that Nick Cage movie.
God, but like really, like don't do legal
References.
highs. Don't do it. Anyway, go ahead. Go ahead. You
And
tell me
I
about
did
it.
this other one, which was described to me as like the ugly cousin of like LSD.
That sounds horrendous.
Yeah, and it was in like crushed up pill form.
Uh-huh.
So you just like you get it out, you just rub it on your gums.
Mhm.
And the first time I did this, it was fine for ages.
Yeah.
Because it takes a while. And then I was like, oh, I feel a bit wavy. This is nice. Woo. And then my dad picked me up, and on the way home, I'm sat in the car, and the headlights from my dad's car is forming into little like light shadow animals. Like shit, you know, like they are staring at me. Yeah, and my dad keeps hitting them, and I can't say anything because I'm off my tits. And I'm like sat in the car with my hands on like the armrest, and like every time he hits, I'm like, yeah. And then like I get home, my friend's like, "You okay? Yeah, I'm fine.
I'm gonna go to bed.
No, like I don't go to bed. I'm like, that's too suspicious.
They'll know.
I gotta do some time downstairs.
Yeah, and like so I got upstairs, get my onesie, come back downstairs, I'm like sat there, and like everything feels wrong. Like my testicles feel huge in my trousers, like they're resting against my leg. I'm like, whoa, they're a bit heavy. Yeah,
Bouncy hoppers.
yeah, like it's like that South Park episode.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
a wheelbarrow.
yeah, and so I'm like, oh, okay, oh, the room's pulsing.
Oh no.
I was like, telling her, yeah, I'm just gonna go to bed. I'm feeling a bit.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Wavy.
I'm just a bit tired. So like, okay, good night. And like, so I get everyone around, like lying in my bed that's spinning, and my room is pulsating like the inside of a creature. I'm like, this is awesome. And then
And terrifying.
and where I hid them, because I still had a lot left, and I hid them in my blazer. Because like there was like I had like normally, and there was like a zip on one side that was in like the bottom of my blazer, and I always
Yeah.
just hide shit in there because they never look.
Yeah.
And I was on the bus in the morning going to school, and literally as I was pulling into my school, I was like, "What the fuck's that?" Opened my blazer and these drugs fell. I was like, "Ooh!" So I just did them. Yeah. Yeah. So I just did them, put them back in. I was like, "Ooh." Oh no!
Oh god.
Like,
Not
I
again.
went like an hour through first period happened, and second I was like, "Whoa, I'm going green," and like, and I was like, "Yeah, I need to go home."
Oh no! I've got a pretty good. So my mate is, for lack of a better phrase, a drug enthusiast. Even from like when we were like 14 and we were like dicking about as like just like, oh, we should do weed.
Let's
like
do drugs.
yeah,
Those are
really
cool.
stupid shit. But he's also my friend. He's doing aeronautical science. He's a very clever guy.
Yeah.
And he
So
was
he's very
very
give himself the challenge of numbing
so
his
here's
brain.
the thing:
like,
is he's fucking himself up, but he's got a lot to work down from. So soon he'll be average.
down
IQ.
to my level.
Yeah, soon he'll be average. So he figured out, he did like dark web shit where he like got his IP somewhere in Taiwan, so he can't be traced, and he was buying drugs off the internet because he knew how to do it, or safely, without being caught safely, air quotes. And he was like, do you want to do mushrooms? I was like, ooh, I do want to do mushrooms. Why? Thank you for asking. Why'd you ask? And he's like, well, I got a mushroom kit, which was really cheap, but you have to grow your own mushrooms. So
Like grow your own boyfriend thing.
Right,
Like,
except-
put it in water for a week. And
it's a dildo. But
fungus dildo.
they kind of look like willies. Anyway, so
Shove it in, pull it out, the cap's gone.
It
I am
fans like an
fucked.
umbrella.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he it was brilliant because his parents were away for like 2 weeks, so he's like, it's perfect, I'll grow them. So he gets them, he's like, okay, so the process is 4 weeks. So he's like, so we start, he like waters them, but not too much and all that shit. We're really careful with it. And the final step is you have to put it in a dark, damp space for a week. So he, for a week, was growing mushrooms in his attic.
Right.
Whilst his parents were there, and he was like, God, I hope they don't need like a fucking suitcase or something from up there.
I'll get it, don't worry.
Yeah, like he's
I
the
love
most
going in the loft.
helpful person when it comes to the attic for that week.
Yeah.
Because it's in like a Tesco bag, because he was like
Yeah.
moisturising the inside of the
Yeah,
bag
yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff, keeping it like damp
Yeah.
and dark and cold. So we get some out, and they're decent. They're like,
Yeah.
I don't know, like 4 inches. Like
that's
they're
not
pretty good. And there's like,
Average.
it's
Yeah.
like, you know, it's just, that's fine.
It's a man 6 inches.
That's fine.
Just to please someone.
Love to give someone an orgasm, so I hear. So we get them down. We take a bite. Like
You
and-
didn't dry them.
Yeah. We did all the
Okay,
shit.
okay.
We did all the shit.
You're just like, I like wet mushrooms.
I love sausages when they're pink in the middle. No. So we did all that. We did
Yeah,
all
sure,
the stuff.
sure.
They're ready to go, and take a bite. And the only thing, the only thing I can compare it to tasting like, is like a gone off nut.
Yeah.
It's
Gone off nut or a gone
No,
off
like
nut?
a gone off, like a cashew, or
or a pistachio.
not seminal fluids.
Oh.
But it was like obviously moldy because it's a
Yeah,
fungus.
yeah.
It's a mushroom. So I take a bite out of one. I'm like, oh, that is not good, and everything in my body is like, don't swallow. Do not swallow that shit. It will
fucking
kill
dare.
you. That's why I swallow the shit.
Yo,
But we get like one mushroom. Oh, because this is another thing. Like Dan was like, okay, so it says for first time mushroom users, you should try this much. So we like got scales out, and we were like, okay, so one, I think it was like 1 to 3 grams for like a first time person. So we had like 1.5.
Sure.
So it wasn't loads, but we measured it all out, and I like got like a third of the way through my bit. And I was like, I can't eat these. So our solution was just getting a fucking cup of water, cutting it up into small bits, and doing it
Down.
like pills. So we were like taking segments of mushroom, swigging it with water, which meant that for the first 20 minutes... Oh, so yeah, another preface. I'm terrible at telling the story. So what we did was, because obviously you can have bad trips, but we didn't want to do that. We spent a lot of
The
time
best way
and
to
money.
do it, I just have to say, is you make like tea or
Yeah.
soup.
Yeah.
Like that's how you do
Yeah,
it. You can
infuse
flavour
it
it.
something, yeah.
And like,
We just went ham on these mushrooms, dude. We did water and mushrooms. Water and mushrooms.
You should have done like a
Look at
fucking
me.
protein shake and
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
shake that shit up.
It was
Like,
gnarly.
dry them out loads.
Yes.
Like-
I get a pestle and mortar
Yeah.
and start grinding
Bit
them
of
down.
pesto with it.
Yeah. That'd be good.
Bit of chicken Alfredo.
It's vegan.
Chicken Alfredo with psilocybin. Nice.
So we'd like in his bedroom we were on his king size bed, but we also had like a duvet along the floor. We had
Yeah.
pillows on the floor because we want it to be a nice, comfortable environment in case we eat shit off the bed or in case we start freaking out. That we can just like stroke
cover the
soft
door
shit.
handles. so
Like-
you don't hit your head.
Yeah. But we
You
were
both
like
lubed up your anuses just in
just
case.
in case, you
It's
know,
got a
you,
bit weird.
you never know.
Yeah.
So we like
Wearing
prepped
gum
everything,
shields.
and then Dan was like, so for the best experience, we should turn off the light. So I was like, okay, cool. I mean, it wasn't dark. We had like natural light coming in,
Moonlight coming
but it was like, oh yeah, no, it wasn't. It was like 1 PM on a Friday because we'd snuck out of school.
And
His
your
house
eyes are
was
the
like-
size of the moon.
They were. He lived like just up the road from school, and we had like some bullshit lesson in the afternoon. So we were like, we'll just leave at lunch. So this is me, my friend Dan, and this other girl. And we're like, well, hey, we're gonna do drugs. So we get there, all the lights are off and all that shit. We take them, and we're just laying there. And he's put some music on, and we're just laying there. And for about 15 minutes, nothing happens. But he had a projector in this room.
Right.
And the projector has like a standby light, which is like the light on the mic that we got here, which is just
Yeah,
it's just
yeah.
red,
Yeah.
standard LED. And I'm like laying on his bed, and I'm like, oh, start feeling something. And because we had ingested them with the water, we'd done it so quickly that it just hit us like a train. So the light, like I'm looking at the light 1 second, the next second the light goes and like fills the room with red light, and I'm like, oh, it's working.
I'm not going to be okay for the next 8 hours.
Yeah.
Like,
Like there was like, so the girl started having like a bad-ish trip, and me and Dan were having such a good trip that everything she was freaking out about was hilarious to us. That she's like, guys, the curtain's moving, and it wasn't, but like again to watch because we're waving like
Yeah.
fuck. The curtain is like doing a Mexican wave. We look over, we're like, yes, oh, it's amazing, and we're just fucking about. I've never laughed so hard in my life, and again, it was a Friday. I was sleepy. I slept. I fell asleep. This trip lasted about 6 hours,
Yeah.
right? I fell asleep. Right. I don't know how to tell you guys this.
shit the bed.
No. I met God and lived to see the end of the universe. I'm
I was
not
melding with
kidding.
your soul for an endless
I-
epoch.
I woke up crying. I woke up
So-
not like sad tears, but like I was overwhelmed with my knowledge of the universe.
So you,
Because I
you
got-
went to sleep on Friday afternoon, you woke up on Monday morning, and you'd seen the universe.
No, I woke up Friday afternoon. I woke up. I like
You
slept
slept
for
for half.
2 hours or
For
something.
half an hour. and you're
But
like,
like I said, I woke up. I had tears in my eyes. I went to the guys, like both of them, who were both tripping bollocks. I went to them. I was like, guys, it's okay. Nothing matters. And I'm like touching them and like
we're all
just
gonna be all right.
right. I was doing that. I was like, I don't know how to tell you this, but I've seen it all. I've seen everything. And I went. So again, and they're like pissing themselves. I'm like, I know you don't get it. I know that it's hard for your brain to conceive. I'm like,
But I think I might be Jesus.
right? It was. I think I said I understand the Messiah. I think that was a phrase.
What I'm waiting for now is
came
you know,
out
and then we looked at the mushrooms and realised they were like fucking button mushrooms.
Yeah.
We went to Tesco.
Yeah, that's all it was.
Like, okay,
But no, it was like even like I left the room and it was the first time we'd seen like light and stuff.
Yeah.
And I went for a piss and I came back in and I was like, you have to go for a piss. I was like, it's an experience. I was like, what the fuck? And I like, so we went out that night as well, right? So we came down off these
Yeah,
drugs and we were like,
yeah,
wow,
yeah,
that was pretty cool. That was awesome. And we were laughing about stupid shit that we were all laughing at that I don't remember now. We got to the like pub that we were pre-drinking in. And I was
Yeah.
like, what? My fucking stomach is killing me. I don't know why my stomach is hurting so bad. And I was a bit nervous. And then I realised it was every time I laughed. So I was laughing so hard for that 6-hour period
Yeah.
that I had like pulled muscles in my sides where we just laughed for 6 hours and then I saw the universe and cried. So that's my drug experience.
Jack became immortal for
I
2
did
hours.
for 2 hours of my life. I've seen the entire universe.
that's very fun.
To be fair, every time I get really stressed, I do call back to that. And I'm like, remember how
As a
you
memory.
felt when you thought nothing mattered?
Yeah.
That's actually real. Nothing
Yeah.
actually does matter. And you're such
You're
a
right.
nothing.
Yeah.
And you realise that
Once you acknowledge that and get to terms
it's
with
either
that,
okay or it fucks you up even more. But for me,
something changes. Anyway.
9 times out of 10,
Yeah.
that makes it okay.
See, I've done weed before.
Yeah.
But the first time I
Right, jeez,
Had a-
calm down.
Ooh, big
right,
boy.
so I've done weed before. Right?
Hello, hello, big boy.
But
Hello.
the first time I had a hit of a bong,
Yeah.
it fucked me up.
I've never taken drugs out of a bong.
This wasn't even a proper bong. This was a Coca-Cola
Was it
bottle.
makeshift?
This is a Coca-Cola bottle with a
Ah.
straw in it.
Oh no! Oh,
so
no.
so I was at a party,
Uh-huh.
and some guys came up to me and just like, "We've got some weed if you want some." I was like, "Yeah, sure."
Cool.
Went into a bedroom, locked the fucking door,
Oh no!
window
And they
cracked,
held you down,
with a big
and they
strong arm.
Shawshanked you.
Window cracked,
The nightmare
and they
came
just
inside him.
handed me the Coca-Cola bottle, and I was like,
The
"Oh."
fuck do I do with
I
this?
was like,
Oh, he
"Oh."
starts drinking the bottle.
Oh, yeah.
It's like,
Oh,
it was
yeah.
fine.
Hot,
This is
steamy
great.
water.
So doing weed is like from a spliff. It's just like, okay, this is kind of fine.
You get wavy.
50 minutes in, you're like, oh, this is I'm having a good I'm having a great time. Bong, when you take a hit of a bong, it is immediate.
Is it?
It's like I was like, fuck.
I don't realise, like, when you're breathing in that whole time and go,
That's all.
you're not breathing in anything.
Yeah.
Because, like, you've got your finger on the thing that's called the rush hole, and when
Yeah.
you take your finger off, you inhale all
Yeah,
of it.
yeah,
and, like,
yeah, yeah.
you've smoked, like, a little bowl of weed. Like,
Yeah.
you've smoked
Yeah.
a joint's worth in one fucking
One fucking hit.
Yeah.
And it's vapor, so it's just like fucking.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, we did it before, like, because you just got to find any liquid. Like, sometimes you'd be so high, but I can't find liquid.
What about a tap?
No.
What's it?
Monsters
the
Living
tap?
Tap.
Yeah.
Look,
Don't
we used,
believe in him, mate.
we used, like, Ribena concentrate. Like,
Oh
No.
it tasted so good.
That fruity hit though.
And, like, because like
Them
on
herbs.
the bowl, like where you put the weed, like some of the residue from the Ribena got in it, so it's really easy to light, and like you could smoke
Oh.
so much because it would stick in there.
Oh my
No.
god.
I like,
Jesus
yeah.
Christ.
Like hit K. Here's a PSA, kid. Like Louis C.K. has a thing that he says, like it's shitty of parents to say that drugs are bad
Yeah.
because they're not. If they were
They
bad, no
answer
one would do
all
them.
your problems.
Like they are really good. And here's another way to get away with doing drugs. My tactic is I would come home pissed and high all the time. On like if I went out, I
On
would
the
come
reg.
home drunk or high or both.
Jesus.
Yeah, and my parents would always ask me what I was doing. I would tell them exactly
Yeah,
what I did.
yeah.
I go, yeah, I had a couple of beers, some vodka, then we did a joint. Yeah, it was all right. Yeah, had a little fight, stole some shit, and like,
Oh my
they,
God!
yeah, and they just be like, oh, okay, huh, really funny.
What?
Yeah.
Who else but Hal?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like, because I said it in a jovial tone.
Yeah.
You jaunty old.
Yeah,
That's
jaunty.
how Hal gets away with everything.
Just be jaunty.
Just be jaunty.
Yeah, and
Because they know it's a
they
gentleman.
just kept doing it. Like, what I told my dad like a month ago or something. He was like, seriously, like, yes. Every time I said that I'd been out and had been drinking and doing drugs, I was telling the truth.
Did they think you were kidding?
Yeah.
Oh my
genuinely.
God.
And like because my parents always said like we would be able to tell in a second if you came home drunk or
No, yeah,
high.
great
We could
parenting there,
spot
mate.
it like fucking bollocks. I remember one of the times I said that I was drunk.
No, you're great.
Yeah.
You're a sleuth.
Yeah, and like, cause just like fuck you, because like I remember like year 10, I drank a litre of vodka at this mate's party, and like I was para.
Yeah.
Like, literally, I fell asleep on the top of this hill using the vodka bottle as a pillow.
No.
Woke up at home in the chair, like what the fuck?
How did I
Like fingers twitching. You're like,
Yeah.
oh my fucking God.
You have that thing from Kill Bill where it's like, wiggle your
Your
big
big
toe. You're like, I can't feel anything.
Yeah, and like, cause like what had happened, like my dad had managed to track me down because I wasn't staying out that night. Like I was going out for a few hours, coming back at like 10 or 11.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, and my dad eventually found out where I was because we
Just
were meant to
driving
be
down the road like, that looks like my son.
because we were meant to be at my mate's house for his birthday, but we went out,
Yeah.
and then my mate just left me. Good job.
Brilliant.
Yeah, this is Burrito, sleeping bag boy. Yeah, and,
Is that payback for the time you left him in a burrito?
yeah, and like he just fucking abandoned me.
Oh.
And like,
Aw.
luckily there were other people there.
Yeah.
And like, eventually my dad came up the hill, and like some of my mates were like, "Are you Hal's dad?" And they were like. It was like, yeah, like he's over here. And like, I was like lying there, like some vomit and everything.
no.
Like my mates helped my dad carry me down this hill and put me in the car.
Jesus.
And I was like, fucked. And like we got to the car park near my house, and I was like, oh, this is a wee. And it's like, okay, so it's like my dad was holding me up as I was pissing. Then I started puking at the same time. Where I was like holding me.
At arm's length,
I've been,
no less.
I've been on the other end of that where I've like found one of my friends pass out in a field,
No.
like carry her to her mum's car,
Jesus.
drive her back home, carry her up the stairs. It was just
That's
like,
horrendous.
oh, you on? This
Yeah.
is so bad.
Yeah.
I had to do that.
So
me and my
bad.
mate found the lad who left me on that hill outside this house, like vomiting loads.
Jesus.
And we were like, we can't fucking leave him
You
because
could-
he was planning
No,
of
yeah,
walking
yeah.
home, and there was like 3 main roads between where he was walking from and his
Jesus.
house, and we were like, we can't.
He's
we were
gonna
like,
get hit.
Matt, we're just going to have to call your dad.
Yeah.
And he was like, you can't. He was like, we're gonna have to call you.
Yeah.
Because we can't walk you.
I'm
all the
not
way back.
taking you
Not
back.
doing with that
We,
shit.
because like we were pushing it because we had like a curfew,
Yeah.
and
yeah.
It's 8:30. We gotta get back.
Yeah. And like,
That Ribina's starting to kick
when
in.
we called my mate's mum because I was staying over at his. And we
Yeah.
called my mate's mum. She thought that we were at this party.
Right.
Yeah.
So you couldn't like blow cover or anything.
No, like we weren't at this party. Like she
Yeah.
got really annoyed. We were like, we weren't seriously.
Yeah.
We're not drunk. And yeah, and like fucking also, I like in that car park when I was vomiting and puking.
Yeah.
My dad said like I was so drunk I was going to call an ambulance. Like, and like,
ambulance.
yeah.
I'm in a bubble.
Well,
and
my
my
dad was
feels
like-
flat.
And my dad said like he was contemplating like dropping me as I was stood there.
Wow.
Yeah, and
Father
he
of the
eventually
year.
got me inside the house and like turned the TV on just for some ambient noise. But no, it's too loud. Turn it off. Put on some light jazz.
Nice. It's
Yeah.
the most British drunk you've
Yeah.
ever been.
And like eventually I had to sleep in between my parents in their bed, like propped up by pillows with a bucket in between my legs.
Oh no.
And I was like yellow because I got proper alcohol poisoning. I did a poo and it just smelled of vodka. Yeah, everything. My
I
dad-
don't think I've ever been so drunk that I've done a shit that smells of alcohol.
Oh, like it was just, there was no poo smell.
Have you,
It was
have you
just
ever
vodka.
drank cider?
Yeah.
The morning after it's just like dark fruits, and you're just like, it just smells like.
And
That's
then
what
it's
I
a
need to do
dark
when I'm,
fruit.
when I'm hungover. Like I wake up in the morning, have 2 rustlers, bag of popcorn and a vitamin drink.
Barocca, and you fucking sorted.
Yeah, and then I shit out the poison in a really dark poo, really dark lager poo.
That's the
Yeah,
way.
and then I'm fine. I'm like, oh, good now.
That's better
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
excreted the crap.
Yeah, like my parents thought that was the first time I'd come home drunk.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So you say like, how's first time being drunk?
Did
I was
you
like,
It's gonna
did you
picture to
correct them or did you
commemorate.
like let it go?
I was like, this isn't the first time. They were asking me like, who got you the alcohol? Who got you the alcohol? I was like, I'm not gonna throw my guy under the bus. I just
Not
said,
my
it was just-
guy.
I
It's
said,
my
it was just-
vodka guy.
I said, it was just this- I don't know. It's this guy we just gave our like our orders to, and he got it for us. It was someone else's mate. No idea what his name was.
Nice.
Yeah, and then my dad went round my mate's house
Oh.
to be like,
shit.
what the fuck?
Uh huh.
Essentially to talk to his parents to be like, I thought you were looking after them. I
Yeah.
thought
Yeah.
they were staying here for this
Mhm.
party, and obviously, and they were like, "Oh shit, sorry, we didn't realize." And like, because like they were like, because my mate walked into the front room as my dad was there, and like he said, like my dad said that like he like froze. I was like, "Oh shit."
Oh
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, because and then my dad explained what had happened to me, and had been
Yeah.
like, "Matt, you just left him."
Yeah.
Like, what
did he?
the hell?
Yeah. Not cool, bro.
Yeah, and like even like my mate's dad and his mum, who were like not big like drinky fans, they didn't like the fact that I used to smoke. And
Yeah.
like Matt blamed me for the first time that he whiteyed, saying that I was the reason he
What the fuck is
whiteyed.
whiteyed?
Like when you smoke weed and you just fucking sit and you puke.
Oh right.
Yeah,
Oh, right.
yeah, and because
So
you
we're
go
not big druggies.
No.
because you go white as a sheep. And,
Okay.
And like they were both like, why don't you just bring him back here? Because then we're gonna call his parents.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I'm scared. And it said that my dad said like he sorted it. Like he just,
Yeah.
I just wanted to make you
Let
aware
you know.
of the situation.
Yeah, yeah.
And like I said, my dad like walked out of the house and there was like 3 seconds, and he just heard his mum go like, "What the hell, man? What the hell?" Yeah.
Oh no.
Like, when I saw him in, like the next day in school, I was like, "Hey, bro," he's like, "Dude, why'd you duck her?" I was like, "I tried to stop him." Shit.
But he was on a mission and you left me.
Yeah. And it's just
Really,
like-
this is all your fault.
yeah.
I mean, you know.
You know.
Yeah. See, this is the shit that Hollywood does not tell you about growing up in England.
Yeah, all the
It doesn't.
all the unglamorous.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's shit like I'd fingered a girl at my year 11
Wow.
like fucking thing like
What thing? What thing?
Yeah,
Your
like
year
a-
11 thing?
leavers party.
Okay.
Like
Like,
in
just
the,
the entirety of year 11, I just fingered a girl.
in a
You know, for year 11 thing.
yeah in this field with like the
Oh.
rest of our year, and we were just stood there just finger
Finger
banging
bashing.
her in a field. And this other girl was like, "Have you got an erection?" I was like, "Yeah, just field if you want." And I was just like, "Why did I do that?"
Jesus
And
Christ.
then it went around school that me and her 69 in a bush. Like,
69 in a
yeah, and like we were like one lad. He well, like for the part like we'd organise like our years like, "Okay, everyone meet in this field at like 8:30."
Yeah, yeah.
One lad got there at 7.
Oh.
Drank her like a 2-litre bottle of champagne. Yeah,
That's
like
so
fucking-
trashy.
Yeah.
Like, it's like
Fucking-
trying to be classy.
like
Trash,
karma. He
yeah.
was trash.
Yeah.
And like by 8:30 he was passed out.
Of course he was.
Oh.
Did you
So-
all arrive and he was gone?
Like he was fucked
Yeah.
when we got there.
Yeah, like he
And
got
then like
there
half an
he
hour
was-
later he was like,
Oh, no.
yeah. And
Oh,
so
boy.
like people had bought pizza and stuff from like
Yeah, yeah.
takeaways, and then they
Yeah.
made a pizza box fire like a foot away from his head.
Brilliant.
Yeah, and we were
Genius.
like, dude, just at least roll him over so we can get
Yeah.
smoke in his eyes. Like,
Because he's fallen asleep with his eyes open.
Yeah,
Well,
like-
let's say I went to a party in the summer.
Yeah.
It was in my friend's garden. She had a big bonfire, so we
Mm-hmm.
all sitting outside. Most of us went back inside. There was one guy who was fucked. We left him on a deck chair outside next to the bonfire.
No.
We woke up in the morning and we were like, where is he?
No.
And we were scared because when we woke up, we went to the field. He was on top of the bonfire. He ended up.
He probably thought it was warm.
Yeah,
he
he
found
was-
the cinders.
So
like a
yeah, so
lizard.
he went to
Yeah.
was like, but if that like fucking reignited and caught the fucking deck chair on fire, we were like, dude, you
You
could
could
have
have
died.
died. Yeah.
But it was like
But I
one.
didn't.
It was like one. It was like 1 in
But
the
did you
afternoon.
die?
He was still asleep.
Jeez.
and
He
your
was
eyes are the
fucked.
size of the
Gross.
moon.
Stop it. We're gonna get copyrighted.
Oh, it's so
They're gonna
accurate.
sue.
No, it's fair use. It's fine.
It's fair
Yeah.
use, yeah.
Uh,
Have you guys ever been drunk in a jacuzzi or a swimming
Oh,
pool?
I did that. I did
Swimming
that.
pool,
I
yeah.
did that
You
last year
get
after my performance in Oliver.
So drunk.
Like, because like I hadn't been drinking. Well, I had like a couple.
Mhm.
I was drinking like steamboats, so, like Southern Comfort and lemonade. I had another thing called Venom, and that was like vodka, Southern Comfort. Oh, it's 3 different types of vodka: Southern Comfort, whiskey,
Yeah.
orange juice, and like Blue Wicked.
Ugh.
Fucking
Sounds
amazing.
horrendous.
I mean, like, you couldn't
Jesus
taste any
Christ.
alcohol.
Oh, fair.
Right.
Fair.
And so I've been drinking that and this Southern Comfort stuff, and like it was like, oh, you got a jacuzzi, yeah, let's get in it. So
Yeah.
I, like got in it and like drinking. I bought like a milk bottle like screw thing with a straw in it specifically.
Oh, no. For this.
Yeah, for this party because I know we're going to
Big occasion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I kept knocking it in, so
No.
and the thing kept going underneath the water and picking up, and definitely the water level kept rising in this drink. But I kept drinking it, so I was drinking like Southern Comfort and chlorine, and like
And like dirty people stank as
yeah,
well.
and like we were doing dumb competitions, like how long can you hold your breath for
Oh,
underneath the water, and like if you're lost, you had to run around the garden or do something dumb. Like I had to run around the garden naked.
Nice.
Yeah, and like I had to get back in,
Yeah.
and
No.
and like oh my god, we got out of the jacuzzi. I sat next to this fire pit we'd made.
Mm-hmm.
Smoke hit me. I went,
Pass out.
went to the top of this person's garden, went like threw up so much. I've been smoking like a train as well,
Oh, no.
and like it was like black vomit. It was fucking awful.
You puked tar.
Yeah, and I'd had like Subway that day as well,
Oh,
so it was a lot.
gross.
And like then I got into a bathroom, I was just constantly going like puh,
Yeah, a spitting
Yeah.
black.
puh, and I like called my dad like, "Can you come get me? Thanks." That's a cool thing about my parents. Anytime we call them, they'll come get you. Like I could call my parents at like 4 o'clock.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
I don't have that. I don't have that. Yeah, no, I've been drunk in a jacuzzi once or twice, and the first time I did it, it was after GCSE. So how old were we?
15, 16?
15 or 16? Yeah, so I went to this girl's house and I knew her through a friend and we ended up getting together. But she was like a couple of years older than us, and her house was free and she had older friends, so we were all drinking. We get in the pool and your pores open, your bloodstream thins, so the alcohol gets around faster.
Yeah.
So I was fine. I get in the jacuzzi for 5 minutes and I go, oh. And I get, so I was like, this is fine, but this is so nice.
Yeah.
This is so comfy. I'm fucked. There is a really pretty girl opposite me, and I'm having a great time. And as I'm doing that, I just like, you know, in movies where like the camera dims around the outside as someone's like blinking, I do that, and I just rest in the jacuzzi until like my head is like this, so my ears are under the water and my nose is above, and I just had like someone yank me out, and I was like, what the fuck? And they were like, you were asleep. I was like,
fell asleep.
I was like, no, I was fine. I was cool. I was just enjoying myself. It was really cut. I kept doing it. I did it like 3 times. They were like, okay, out of the fucking jacuzzi. I was like, but it was so comfy. And then I was fucked. It was good.
Jesus.
Well,
And on that note,
I think we should wrap it up.
there.
wrap it up? Speaking of vomit, one more thing. Just we saw a really funny fail video today.
Yeah.
Where this guy was he was just downing like a 2-liter bottle of water.
Yeah.
And he was like scrunching the bottom and
to
pushing
push it
up.
forward, yeah.
He was doing it as quickly as he could, and he did it in like 15 seconds, if
That's
that,
pretty
something like
good,
that. It was
yeah.
really fast, and they're like, "Hey, well done!" The moment he puts the thing down, he immediately vomits
Ejects.
just pure water for about 5 seconds.
Oh.
Because it starts, he like finishes. They're like, "Wait," he goes, "Whoa," and like a bit comes out, and then he's like. It is like for like 5 to 10 seconds, he just vomits the lot back out.
Gross.
On that lovely mental image, people. Thank you. I've been Hal.
I've been Jack,
I've been Ollie.
and we'll see you next
next
week,
week.
probably at an earlier time.
Yeah, probably, hopefully we've got nothing else on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna try and set up a Twitter page.
Yeah, and a Facebook. And
So once we
and
get that set up, we'll put the links in the description,
Hmm.
so that by next week you should be able to follow us on Twitter and Facebook.
Do that.
Cool. Thank you very much.